All right, so some more good news, and the reason I'm talking all about these kids is because I'll tell you afterwards. But some more good news. So a NICU graduates reunite with life-saving caretakers at Hillcrest Hospital. On Sunday afternoon, the hospital invited NICU graduates to come to the hospital dressed up as their favorite superhero for a very special reunion. The so-called miracle preemies reunited with medical providers who helped bring them the world and gave them life-saving care. So this, if you're confused at what I'm talking about, there's this bunch at this hospital, Hillcrest Hospital. A lot of these preemie kids who ended up were born premature, and they had to stay in the NICU, and they had tubes in them, and they were in there for weeks, and they were in there for months, or substance abuse, or whatever the reason these NICU babies needed to be in the NICU. 2 years afterwards, this hospital had a reunion, inviting all of these babies back, dressed as their favorite superhero, and they had ponies there, and they had snacks there, and they had a photo booth there, and all of the caretakers, the doctors, the nurses, and all of the preemies were reunited. And Tina, I absolutely love this story. I love the story. And I have to say, Tina, I don't think we do enough of this at all. At all. And I feel like if we did more of this, I just took one of my little sisters to their yearly checkup, and they are so scared of the hospital. And like, as a healthcare provider, I hate that these kids are so scared of the hospital. And I remember being so scared of the hospital because I don't have any good memories of the hospital at all, full stop, period. And I have a lot of family members that work in healthcare. And I just feel like without situations like this, without having some good memory or some good reason to go to the hospital, you will never want to go to the hospital.
Well, that's true. I guess the problem with that, though, also working in hospitals, sometimes I don't necessarily like seeing children come into the hospital if they don't need to be there because they are exposed to germs. Sorry, it's that protective part of me coming out again, but that scares me a little. But having said that, something like this where we have this at our hospital covered area out front where we have things like a farmer's market, things like that, little gatherings. I don't know. I feel like an area like that's in sort of a common area, you could do things like this, and that way you could bring kids in, teaching them about hand hygiene and how important it is, and teaching them about germs and sick people and all of that stuff, and what healthcare providers do. I do think it's important. I really do, because a lot of people get to be adults and really don't have any idea what nurses do in hospitals. A lot of people, their only exposure at all to nurses are when they go to their primary care, and the nurse is maybe someone who comes in and just sort of checks them in and takes their vitals, maybe gives some shots, and sometimes those aren't even nurses, but we assume that they're nurses. Sometimes they're medical assistants or something like that, but a lot of people think that's what nurses do. They have no idea the responsibility that nurses really have.
Exactly. And you're a mother, you're a nurse through and through. Oh my goodness, watch out for the germs. And I'm with you, and I believe you. But I also agree with you when you say that if there is a safe area, if you are doing a celebration, if you are having an education type of community thing around the hospital, around healthcare providers, I think it's very important. Or even just have healthcare providers go to high schools. Even have something just as simple as that. My whole thing is, I can't remember. I'm a nurse. I have healthcare providers in my family, and I can't remember I don't have a good memory of going to the hospital, right? Maybe I got a lollipop after one of my checkups, but it's not a good memory for me. Like, a good memory for me is going there dressed up in my favorite superhero outfit, taking pictures, petting some ponies. That is a good memory, right? So I'm super happy, and I really, really, really hope that other hospitals start to take this. Just to close the story out, I want to let you know that there were more than 200 children in attendance to this celebration, to this reunion Sunday, that were born 2 years prior to the celebration, and they've been doing this every 2 years for 15 years. Hillcrest Hospital, you guys know what's up, and you guys know how to, I don't know, that's a very community-based care that you learn about in nursing school, and you think about it, but I've never seen any community-based healthcare at all since being a nurse. So when I see stories like this, I'm like, yes, we need an insane amount more of hospitals and healthcare providers like this. Hillcrest Hospital, you guys are fantastic. Hope to one day work in a place like that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate this. If you guys were informed or educated in any way, shape, or form by these stories, please hit that like button. If you liked my presentation of the news, I really suggest you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know every time Q the Nurse drops some hot, fresh press news. Thank you. Catch you next week. Deuces.